Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here, and today we're looking at Alpha Flight number 17 through 20 by John Byrne. Alright, so I hope you guys have been enjoying my revisiting of Alpha Flight. I know I have, because I love Alpha Flight. They're like one of my favorite books. I love John Byrne. He created Alpha Flight, Canada's premier super team. It feels like there's been a lot of Alpha Flight buzz in the air, for some strange reason, and John Byrne's X-Men Elsewhen fan fiction, free fan fiction by John Byrne on ByrneRobotics.com, Byrne's forum, just in case you're not reading it. But anyway, he does a new page every day during the week, and a page from last week had Shaman and Vindicator, and I was so cool. So I was like, oh yeah, bring on the Alpha Flight. I'd be really surprised if they had any major role in the book, just because Byrne notoriously is not a fan of his own creation. Alpha Flight, I hate to go on and on about that, because it's pretty common knowledge if you're a Byrne fan like I am, but whatever. Anyway, they released the new Gamma Flight for Marvel, which was terrible. I should do a review of that. I shouldn't say it's terrible. A lot of people probably like it. I was disappointed. I was expecting something with a little more alpha ties, but, and modern comic book art is just so boring and flat to me, and just so not exciting. So let's get into these gorgeous old puppies. I mean, come on, this is from 1984. It was a good year. Okay, so this is Alpha Flight number 17. This is an homage cover to X-Men number 109, the first appearance of Guardian in X-Men and Alpha Flight. And I want to say it was John's first regular book on the run, which was surprising to me when I was looking back at it, because I was like, wow, he sort of hit the ground running, introducing his own group of superheroes or whatever, in his first issue. So that was cool. One thing that I really liked when this came out is that Dave Cockrum had done the cover for X-Men 109. So this is an homage by John Byrne. And it's funny because Terry Austin did some covers, George Perez did some covers, Dave Cockrum did covers. I'm sure there was others too, but it seems like certain periods in Byrne's career, he shied away from covers. I don't know. I'm an egomaniac. If I'm the artist of the book, I want my art on the cover. That's all I'm saying. And as a reader, I always preferred when the art was drawn, or the cover was drawn by the interior artist. Unless it's Adam Hughes or somebody like that, then, you got to take what you can get, because I'm not going to say no to an Adam Hughes cover. Anyway, so this is very cool. This is, I don't know if I think this might include the flashbacks. I'm not sure, but I guess we'll get into it. So John Byrne is penciling, inking, or writing. Andy Yonkis is the colorist. Joe Rosen is the letterer. And legendary Denny O'Neil is the editor, who at one point was fired by Jim Shooter. Isn't that interesting? I think that was one of the more unpopular things that Shooter did, but he had his reasons, and that's not the subject today. Well, how do I look? Guardian says he's presenting the best comic costume. I don't know. This is definitely Canada's Captain America right here. I was surprised when they killed him off. I mean, it's so iconic. This suit is flawless. Any variation of this just cannot touch Byrne's original design for this suit, and I love it. It's funny, when he was introduced, he was always supposed to be called Guardian. They had to call him Vindicator, Marvel mandate, because they had the Guardians of the Galaxy at the time, which nobody read, so it wouldn't have been a confusing or a conflict. But Byrne quickly turned him back into Guardian when nobody was looking. I think that actually was one of his conditions during the Alpha Flight book, is that Guardian had to be called Guardian and not Vindicator, because he said Canada has nothing to vindicate. And I like when one person speaks for a nation. Anyway, so I'm rambling, but this is Heather just got attacked, so she's in the hospital, and there's Logan there to see if she's okay. She's building up to be the leader of Alpha Flight. It's funny that Byrne never wanted to put her in a Guardian or Vindicator suit, and that was something Bill Mantlo did later. That's the thing when you give up your intellectual property or your creations or your characters to a big corporation. They're pretty much at the mercy of whoever wants to do whatever they want to do with them, editorial-wise. So this is fun. I mean, this is anytime you have John Byrne drawing the classic X-Men. I love the flashbacks to the story. You've got Krakoa, which, you know, is like completely unrecognizable now. I cannot read modern X-Men comics. I don't know, it just seems so weird to me. You think I'd be like super excited because everyone's gay and everything, and I don't even know if I would have wanted that like back in the day. Like as a gay reader, I don't need everybody to be gay. I mean, I'm hoping to watch them like fight villains and not, you know, hook up and stuff. But whatever, if that works for them, that's great. They can have it. I'm about diversity and inclusion, and I mean, it was pretty much always there. Like, you know, North Star obviously was gay, so hysterical. And I love the is this where, oh, I just love this because this is so like sign of the times. Wolverine calls I think it was in the actual X-Men book, but he referred to Aurora as a broad, which is hysterical because, you know, he's like that guy. And then he goes, she scolds him for like, oh, you would hunt innocent animals for, not for survival, but for merely sport. It's like, welcome to America, chick. Have you been to a slaughterhouse? I mean, that's like Enterprise right there. But he calls her a honey bunch, and that's really, you know, not cool. But anyway, this is Weapon Alpha. See, now that's a cool name. Like, why didn't they just call Guardian, like, screw Guardian and Vindicator? Like, I'm kind of digging the name Weapon Alpha. Like, they could do, like, so many good things. Like, a really cool, like, Guardian story called Weapon Alpha. Like, Barry Windsor Smith, Weapon X type. I mean, there's limitless possibilities with what they could do with these characters and how great they are. And I mean, Alpha Flight is just begging to be made into the next. I feel like, you know, they could definitely carry a film, but I just would love to see it sort of done, you know, like the Alpha Flight series. A lot of people complain about how different and quirky and weird it was, but I loved it. I think it lends itself very well to like a sort of soap opera kind of Twin Peaks, I mean, Umbrella Academy type series. Like, who wouldn't be down for that? I mean, Byrne peppered it with subplots galore, so it's not like you would really run out of material and a lot of stuff to explore. I kind of like when the X-Men are hanging out, like they're by the watering hole and being playful and just, you know, like swimming and hanging out and character development, that kind of stuff. Saturday morning cartoons. I miss Saturday morning cartoons. I guess in my mind I'll always be 8 years old, and this is kind of messed up. So they're like, rookie move, he shoots Colossus and it bounces off of him and hits Moira McTaggart in the head, sending her into the water. Of course, Banshee's gonna rescue her. That's fantastic. Banshee was always such a strange character to me. I never disliked him. I kind of liked him in Generation X. I thought that was a good place for him, but, you know, he was written out of the all-new, all-different X-Men so quickly. There's an interesting trick that, and I thought of this recently in X-Men Elsewhere because I feel like Byrne had Magneto do something similar where it seems like he's disappearing, but he's like doing something with by using the gravity control of my suit, I was able to render myself at rest relative to the turning of the earth below me. So he used the earth's rotation to teleport him rather than teleport him. I love comic book science like that. Like, who knows if it's true, but I fell for it like a ton of bricks. And all those little, like, aha, clever things that just made me love, comics growing up. One of my absolute favorite pages, not to, like in a non-pervert kind of way, but I just love kind of like, I don't know, it reminds me of like, you know, sci-fi movies and stuff. Like they're in a tank of water, and I mean, this is so crazy. It's like Aurora is so desperately trying to disassociate herself with her twin brother, North Star, which is so weird too, because like they grew up not even knowing each other's existence, and then they became very close, and then all they did was fight, depending on which personality was going on with Aurora. But so she's going to have Sasquatch genetically alter her makeup to make her powers different from her brother. That's how PO'd she is at him. And she's already cutting her hair, so we're gearing up for her new costume. I thought this was, like, so extreme. Like, the process he's doing to her is so painful that she, like, bursts out of the tank. Hysterical. I love the coupling of Aurora and Sasquatch, Walter Lankowski. And then we have a glimpse of the costume. I kind of lost my mind. Like, I loved Aurora and North Star. I didn't find out until years later everyone hated the new Aurora costume. And just, like, this glimpse was, like, the ultimate teaser for me. I remember, like, trying to draw what it was going to look like and how I imagined. Like, I had, like, almost, like, kiss makeup on her face to sort of emulate that and stuff. What can I say? I was hardcore in it to win it. Anyway, that was issue 17. So this is fun. I've always loved covers like this, sort of like slice of life. It reminds me of the Titans, like Teen Titans number 8, A Day in the Life of the Titans, where it's sort of just showing things that are happening in the book, and like not necessarily the most exciting cover. Let's face it, John Byrne didn't even ink this one, and it probably took him a half hour to draw it. I mean, there's minimal backgrounds, silhouettes. I mean, the editor was probably like, where is that cover, John? So we have, we had check back on inks, and I like we had checks inks on Byrne. I think it's fun. It's funny because this is such a teaser. Like, this is something that was not going to happen in Byrne's Alpha Flight. So this is like the closest we were going to get right here. Like, oh my God, Heather, what are you doing? She's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's just like wearing my dead husband's pajamas or something. That would be kind of, see, I would just like, I'm like so twisted. I'd be like, you know, having her like sleep in his costume and just weird crap like that. Jean-Paul, it's Heather Hudson on the phone. I call him Jean-Paul. I know it's John Paul. I know that's very French. They're French-Canadian. Jean-Paul and Jean-Marie. I had like 6 weeks of French in junior high, so I mean, I should know, right? Shaman. I love Elizabeth Two Young Men, his daughter, who becomes Talisman. Such a great character. So much more you could do with all of these characters. Another John Byrne kind of trope, like a gross old man, gorgeous young woman. Oh, and this is fun too. I mean, come on, leave it to Byrne. The wackiness of just, I don't know, I think that would be such a cool scene, like, on the screen, like you're making scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs is really the only way I'll eat eggs, by the way. I hate egg yolks. That's so important to this video. But anyway, don't you love when you're making out with somebody and, well, first a rabbit turns into a woman, and then you start making out with her, then she gets grossed out, and then she turns into the demon that she really is and reveals herself. I'd be like, oh my gosh, can I totally have some Listerine or something? Bam, there goes the scrambled eggs. I just love that John Byrne draws, like, I mean, you just don't see this kind of stuff anymore. Like, no artists really I mean, I shouldn't say that, because I on one hand I say I don't read modern comics, and then I bitch about them. So there could be a wealth of great stuff, but it's funny, anytime I like pick up a modern comic, it's usually because someone who's been in the industry for 30, 40 years is drawing it, you know, like an Art Adams, or I'll even give you like Ed McGuinness or something. I love him. But anyway, that is the most problematic pan of scrambled eggs I've ever seen in my life. But this is why Alpha Flight is so much fun. And I appreciate everyone's comments and feedback from all the people who loved Alpha Flight. I even like hearing from the people who didn't like Alpha Flight, because I'm like, it confounds me, because I look at pages like exploding scrambled eggs taking over the whole house, and I think to myself, like, what's not to love? That's a great Byrne trope right there. It kind of reminds me of that cover of FF 276, Suffer a Witch to Live or whatever, with the Agatha Harkness and all the silhouettes. John Byrne is like such a fun artist. I love his style. If I had to die and come back as a comic book artist, see, I would be like, I don't know. I couldn't be Byrne though, because I would do like, I would still be drawing Alpha Flight. Like, I'd be on number 500 or whatever it would be by now, if he would have never left. I wonder what that would have been like. Marvel Hunk of the Month. Imagine they don't do stuff like that anymore. Like, who cares? John Romita Jr. Alpha Waves. Such a great book. Alpha Flight 18. The next one is exciting because I love this cover so much. Talisman. It's funny, I didn't think of it at the time, but this is kind of a very racy costume that she has here. This is Shaman's daughter introducing Talisman. Super powerful. Snowbird has like bowed to her when meeting her, like, you're the chosen one, whatever. I hate, like, this chaps my ass to no end when they make mistakes like this on the cover, no less. Like, look, her forehead is yellow. Can you see that? Her forehead is yellow, and then the headband is covered flesh. I'm like, seriously? Like, all you have to do is cover the damn cover and get it right. Like, why? I mean, so under that grain of thought, like, she would have a Neanderthal forehead. And it's just little coloring mistakes that always used to drive me crazy like that. I guess it's my type A personality. Who knows? Anyway, the art is so much fun. I think it always evoked so much, like, mood, and Byrne just really does so many different genres so well. I think that was another thing that I liked about Alpha Flight so much, because it sort of had, like, mystical elements, horror elements. You know, I mean, if you're doing a teen book and you plan it right, you should put, like, so many different types of characters on that you can do. Like, one day you're underwater, the next you're in space. I mean, that's sort of the brilliance of, like, the X-Men and the Marvel characters. Oh, here we go. Snowbird bowing down before Elizabeth Two Youngman, and she's like, chick, I don't know what your problem is, but... Oh, and then she just looks into Shaman's bag. I just love, like, little touches like that. Just like, holy crap, a nanny. Oh my god, a normal person would lose their mind if they did that. She's like, not me. I'm gonna... And that's fun, too. That reminds me of, like, Mary Poppins. Like, Shaman, oh my god, is that my next video? Like, is Shaman the Mary Poppins, the Marvel Universe? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But I love, like, you can see her reaching into the bag, but, you know, you can't see it. Obviously goes on. And just the artistry here is just, like, really pretty and beautiful. I love the transformation. Such a great costume. Like I said, a little racy, like, with the open panels and the open hips and stuff, but it's sort of like Cher. It's, like, sexy without being, like, X-rated, if that makes sense. Like, did Bob Mackie design this? Because he totally could have. One of the better. I feel like I'm not 100%, like, let me know in the comments if, like, because, I mean, I love the designs of all the costumes of the Alpha Flight. What's one of your favorite Byrne character designs? And while we're breaking the fourth wall here, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because I can't talk and I need help. It helps. Hit like, share, that kind of stuff. Anyway, I don't know. I just, and it's such a fun teen dynamic too. Like, when you introducing, like, his daughter, who's, like, really not wanting much to do with any of this, but she was really good at it. I feel like she was a great superhero. I always kind of liked when John Byrne, like, see, I mean, it's like, we talk about different genres. Now you've got a Western. Like, if Byrne felt like drawing a Western. And then the beautiful woman turning into something horrific. That's definitely a Byrne trope for sure. But I'm sure many men would, that kind of looks Byrne-ish to me. I always think that any character with a beard or a mustache in a Byrne comic book is Byrne himself, but probably not. I don't know. This is just like good time, fun, superhero action via Canada. That was the other thing that you can always tell, like, I feel like Byrne and Claremont both, like, never minded torturing their characters for a good story. And I guess that is a good character journey. I mean, you have to have conflict in life. That's what it's all about. For entertainment, anyway. Introducing Keith Williams as background anchor. This is, like, one of my favorite combinations when Byrne is doing figure inks. And if he can't do the whole thing, Keith Williams is a great background anchor. And here we are to number 20, the last in our 4-issue vignette here. And I have to say, I'm sure a lot of people would disagree with me, but this is one of my favorite Alpha Flight covers ever. This is like my favorite kind of Byrne villain. Just like the backstory behind this is good. Art-wise, this is one of my favorite books, and you'll find out why in a minute here. But I just like this cover. Aha, Sasquatch. Oh, interesting. I can tell right away. And I don't think it was last issue, but we've moved to the flexographic printing. You can tell the colors are brighter. Almost distractingly so. You can also see one of the problems with the flexographic. It was supposed to be cheaper and better or something. I don't know. But if they didn't change the plates often enough, the blacks would look a little gray. And I think that sometimes it suffered. But nothing better than Sasquatch just going nuts and like uprooting a tree, knocking down a bunch of trees with the tree, and just like showing off his strength. We really get to, I mean, this is kind of like the exciting, that's what I was noticing when I was looking at the Gamma Flight. It's like you have all these gamma radiated like characters fighting each other, and there's nothing like this. I mean, this is Sasquatch by himself, and there's so much action in this panel, like, it's amazing. Like, you know, comic books are static. It's like, so that was always emphasized in my pursuits of, like, wanting to be a comic artist and drawing. It's like, you have to bring the drama. You have to make lifeless pictures have action. And, you know, I think John Byrne and his ilk and the artists that of his era and around that time just definitely got the memo on that. This is fun here, but like I said, the anticipation for this costume. And that was issue the end of 18 when we got the teaser for Aurora's costume. So we had to go like a full, or no, it might have even been 17. Oh yeah, like 2.5 issues without even knowing. And then bam, here it is, one of my favorite splash pages in comic book art ever. They call it the ice skating costume. A lot of people hate this. They hate her asymmetrical hairdo. It was very of the time. Once again, a bearded, I mean, is this not John Byrne? I want to say yes, especially since I think she plants a kiss on him, which is funny to me. But I love this costume. It's Aurora trying to differentiate herself from North Star. I think it's fun. I think it's classic. I love it. I would absolutely love to own the original art for this page. So if anybody has it, wants to send it to me, let me know. Okay, so she doesn't kiss John Byrne, but they're all lining up for it. Because Aurora was a little bit of a hussy. Can I say hussy? Is that too harsh? But anyway, I just think it's funny because a common thread in John Byrne comics is characters kissing each other out of the blue like that, which is just funny to me. And Sasquatch is so square and straight-laced. He's like, keep it in your pants, Aurora. And she's all, oh, you're no fun, Sasquatch. If I want to make out with the entire lumberjack crew in front of my boyfriend, I should be allowed to, so screw you, I'm flying away. And anyway, here we have Talisman and Snowbird probably saying like, oh my god, you're so powerful. Like, it's funny because you can really see like the flexographic, like the blues look so different. And I'm sure the artists were horrified when this first came out because it changed their art so much. A lot of the inking was lost and the bright colors were kind of crazy. I mean, you can see good examples of how terrible it is in certain points, like little glitches like that, just like a blip there. I mean, what do you want for 60 cents, right? Okay, this is fun. This is where it becomes sort of like a, I don't know, 50s or 60s sort of like classic Hitchcock sort of horror movie for me. I just love it. They're like out on the water in a boat, you know. Walter has like this stupid captain's hat on. I would be like, if we were out on a boat and my boyfriend had a hat on like that, I would be like, take off that hat, you look ridiculous. But anyway, they come to this cool old house, and I just love the way John Byrne draws landscapes and scenery, and you just sort of take this stuff for granted, you know, in this kind of art, because trust me, you're not getting it anywhere else. Ooh, Power Pack and the Amazing Spider-Man with tips on ways to prevent abuse. How fun. See, look how, like, not black that is in a way, if that makes any sense. Like, because the weird printing process. I need to do some more research on the flexographic, because I know that Crisis on Infinite Earths was printed with this process, and they were really hopeful and excited about it, and then it just like came out so terrible. And I feel bad for, you know, and I mean, like, you know, the artists were just like real artists, and like, you know, putting pencil on boards and ink and like really doing it. It wasn't just all, you know, on Procreate or Photoshop or whatever. So it's like they really put their blood, sweat, and tears into their art. This is funny. And Byrne, I mean, okay, he did this in issue 3, you know, the great cover with Aurora, the black and white cover, where she's locked in the dark for several pages and you just get like black panels. So he also did it with the all white and Snowblind. So now that we have it again here, I'm gonna call out BS on you, Byrne, and say like, okay, it's time to start drawing some pages. This is fun here, and this is where it's very like, you know, 50s, 60s horror movie for me, like, or a Hitchcockian or whatever. Like, you've got this hallway of all these golden statues, and then you're staring at one, and one opens its eyes. It's like the whole House of Wax kind of thing. And Aurora's losing it, of course. And here comes Gilded Lily, this crazy, like, I don't know, I can't even describe her, but, you know, she's got the typical, like, old sort of Hollywood motivation, like trying to hang on to her youth or her, you know, wealth or whatever. And she turned poor Walter into a statue. Oh, well, I guess that's it for now. You'll have to tune in next time for the next Alpha Flight 21, 22, 23, and 24. And then sadly we'll be up to 28. I'm contemplating just go ahead and doing the Mantlo Magnola run. Why not? I love Alpha Flight so much. Let's keep them in the ether. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Go out, read Alpha Flight. Spread the word. I don't know why. Anyway, thanks for watching. And I will bring you some more content soon. All right, take it easy, guys. Bye.